You there? It's
Hello, yes,
Mario.
hear you.
It's Mario here. Can you hear me?
Hi, Mario. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi, Liz. Thank
Hey,
you,
Mario.
Bria. Hi, Bria. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's Faith and Program Committee meeting for Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. Thank you to everyone joining us in person and for the members of the public who are viewing tonight's meeting live on our board's YouTube channel. For attendance tonight, we have Trustee Sean Xavier and Trustee Anisha Thomas sending their regrets. Trustee Daryl D'Souza, Trustee Luz Del Rosario, and Trustee Mario Perscucci are attending the meeting virtually. Indigenous Student Trustee Bailey Klein and Student Trustee Raheem White send their regrets. All other trustees are in attendance. And just a reminder for the trustees who are online this evening, if you can please have your cameras turned on to ensure we have quorum. And if your cameras are off, we will assume you have temporarily left the meeting and our recording secretary will mark the time you left and the returned. Thank you so much. Item A2, we begin tonight's agenda with our opening prayer found on page 3 of your agenda package. You are invited to stand with us if you are able, and Trustee Thomas will be doing the opening prayer.
Of the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your help, sought your intercession, was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, we fly into you, O Virgin of Virgins, our Mother. To you do we come, before you we stand, sinful and sorrowful, O Mother of the Word incarnate, despite not our petitions, but in your mercy, hear and answer us. Amen. Mary, Queen of Peace, pray for us. In the name of the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Trustee Thomas. Item A3 is our land acknowledgement. Please remain standing if you are able.
With all that's happening around the world, we are especially conscious of the importance of reconciliation. And for us, in terms of supporting our Indigenous brothers and sisters, reconciliation is about honoring the dish with one spoon wampum, one of our most foundational treaties. The sacrament of reconciliation, the Catholic social teaching of subsidiarity, are important anchors for us as a people of pieces and are important links to our work and to the land. As always, we thank the Michi Sagig of the Credit, our local treaty partners, who have been stewards of this land for generations. Together, we commit to beauty and peace, to fight injustice, and vigorously, passionately, resolutely create a future with hope.
Thank you, Trustee Herman Valoria, for doing the land acknowledgement for us. Before we proceed with tonight's meeting, would someone like to do the role of Vice Chair? Thank you, Trustee Thomas. Item A4 is approval of the agenda. Tope sheet was sent out this evening noting changes. B1 presentation has withdrawn. F1 presentation has been distributed. And item K3A is pending approval of the majority of trustees. Are there any other revisions to tonight's agenda before we approve it? Hearing none. So I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Thank you, Trustee Paula D'Amato Giovinazzi. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Item A5 is the declaration of interest. Are there any declarations of interest this evening? Seeing none. Item A6 on page 4 is the approval of the minutes from the Faith and Program Committee meeting of March 4th. Are there any questions or comments before approval? Seeing none. We do have business arising from the minutes. They're attached on page 11. Are there any questions? Seeing none. I need a motion for approval of the minutes from the Faith and Program Committee meeting of March 4th, 2025.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Moved by trustee Luz Del Rosario. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. Item B1, there are no awards and presentations as noted on your taupe sheet. Item C, there are no delegations. So we now move on to item D, update information reports from trustees for receipt. D1A is the Ontario Catholic School Trustees Association. Trustee Del Rosario, do you have an OXTA report this evening?
Just a brief one for tonight, just to say that we had the OXTA AGM at the previous weekend. There were a lot of topics that are beneficial for all the trustees. At the same time, we were informed of the mandatory courses that we have to take. I understand we have sent out the information, so I encourage each of our trustees to please sign up. It's a webinar that will start, I believe, this Thursday, May 14th. 4 of them are being done this month. So the sooner we can get it, it'll be good, because the deadline that we're given by the ministry is August 31st, 2025. So I do encourage everyone to sign up. We will have more details of the OXA AGM and workshops at the board meeting. The only other thing I want to remind everyone is if you're interested in going to CCSTA, it'll be on June 1st, June 5th to the 8th to the 7th. So if you're interested, please let Michelle know. It might be a little bit late for the hotel accommodation, but at least the workshop may be good. It's a lot of focus on Catholic education that they are presenting. So I do encourage each of you to do that. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, trustee Del Rosario. I will note the first one does start tomorrow, Wednesday, May 14th.
Madam Chair.
That's right.
If I could, on the presentation by Chair Del Rosario, those sessions that she referred to of OXTA, I haven't looked. I know that they're there. She sent me the email. I still have it. Are they on a take as you can? They are set dates and set times. How many of those are in the day and how many of those are at night? Because I'm
The
not
one-
taking a
okay.
vacation day to do something
No,
I don't want to do.
no. So the one that's coming on the 14th, tomorrow night, it starts at 7 to 8:30. It's a webinar. At the same time, the following week, on the 21st, I believe, it's also 7 to 8:30. The following two are from 12 noon to 1:30. Now, if you do miss these webinars, there's an opportunity to continue to take it online. But the deadline or the timing that we were given by the ministry is to complete them by August 31st.
And if you don't,
I don't know. We asked the same question. If we don't, what happens?
so if I can't make tomorrow evening because I'm out of school, and I can't make next week because I'm out of school,
Mhm.
I work during the day, then what? I
You can do it online on your own time. You could
Okay.
do it online.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you both.
Uh,
Trustee,
Daryl,
my apologies. I thought you were done. Trustee Del Rosario, did you have another question or comment?
no, I was just gonna mention Trustee Daryl D'Souza has his hands up.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I'll go to Trustee Daryl D'Souza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And through you, Chair Rosario, can you send that email once again, please? Because I cannot find it. And
No problem. Will do.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Trustee D'Souza. I have Trustee Stefano Pascucci next.
Thank you. To Chair Del Rosario, so I have the attachment open. It says that there's 4 webinars, plus there's also 6 self-directed online modules available on the OESC's Good Governance website.
Yes.
Is
So
there a
there
link to
is. Am I okay to answer now?
Well, the question is there a link to that website?
To which website? The OAC?
Yeah, for the 6 self-directed online modules.
I think there was the very first one that was issued, but I will resend it again. I'll look for it and resend it again. So if you want to do it yourself online, you could do that. So I'll resend it again.
Thank you. And I guess the next question is, what is, well, to Trustee Bruno-Nika's question as well, what happens if we don't do it? Because as Trustee Bruno-Nika mentioned, and I have the same boat as well, I can't take time off the day to do this.
No. We're offered a webinar portion, but you could also do it online, especially the 6 mandatory ones that they're asking us to do. So you could do that online at your own time. If you could just complete it by August 31st, that's what they're saying. Now, if we don't complete it by August 31st, we don't know what they're going to do. The only thing that we were informed was the ministry is tracking them. So whoever is attending, they're tracking them, and there was no indication of what will happen. With this current ministry, I'm not sure what will happen.
We have another question, Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
So is it 6 plus 4?
No. The 6, that includes the 4 that they're doing a webinar. Those are the mandatory ones.
Because the attachment is 6 self-directed, and there's check marks for school board trustees. Check mark beside the 6 self-directed online modules, check mark beside the 4 webinars. So to me, that sounds like I have to do 10 separate educational training sessions at 0 cost, at $0 to me. And I'm not saying I want money, but the ministry pays as little as it is right now and taking money away from us and from our schools. Yet they decide to put money or give us time, or maybe it's forced to give our time up to do this. So is it 6 plus 4, or I do the 4 webinars and no self-directed?
6. We were told only 6 is the mandatory.
So the webinars are not.
Well, let me pull out the whole document again. As far as I know, it's only 6. If you do the 4 webinars, I think the other 2 you could do online. I haven't seen the other webinars for the other 2, but you could do them online. And you do not have to take a time off. That's the reason why there is an option for online.
Thank you, Trustee Del Rosario. I have Director Mazzarato.
Mhm.
Yes, perhaps I can provide some clarification. There's 6 self-directed modules that you access through the OESC.
Oh, I see.
OES.
OISE.
In addition to that, there's 4 webinars. Now, they're providing them live over the next 4 Wednesdays in
Mhm.
May. And I can forward the memo to everybody, but if you're not able to watch them, because as Trustee Ionika has identified, some of them are during the day, you can access them asynchronously, but all of that has to be completed by August 31.
That's right.
So it's 6 self-directed modules, 4 webinars that you can either watch live as they're being presented over the next 4 Wednesdays in May, or you could access those 4 webinars asynchronously after the fact, as long as you've done that before August 31.
Yeah. But in total, it's still 6. It's just 6.
No, Madam, no, it's actually 10.
10.
It's 6
Oh.
plus 4, which,
Okay.
that's a lot of, and that's a lot of work, but yet our government can't sit for, 2/3 of the votes that are out there, but also require us to do this as well by August 31st.
Yeah.
Thank you, Director Mazzarato, for the clarification. Thank you, Trustee Del Rosario, for the update. Trustee Stefano Pascucci,
Yeah,
did
I
your
just want
question?
to, just a comment, just a request, if you can just send the OESC website again, so
We
I can
will.
investigate to see how much more time I have to give out of my life for these training sessions.
I will. I'm just looking for it right now as we speak.
Thank you.
I'll resend them on.
Thank you so much. Moving on to item D1B is good news items. Are there any good news items this evening?
Oh,
Um,
I,
Trustee Del Rosario?
no, sorry. I couldn't remember what it was. I do have a good news one. I'll
Okay.
save it for the board. Sorry.
No problem, that's okay. I do have a good news item, so I will pass the chair to Trustee Thomas Thomas. There is some of this information that's captured later on in the agenda, but last week was Catholic Education Week 2025, celebrating Pilgrims of Hope. And I just want to express appreciation to our school communities for all the wonderful events they hosted, from school-wide liturgies to participating virtually in the provincial Mass for Catholic Education Week, family events with open houses, talent shows, math events, food drives, retreat-style pilgrimages. Many of our Journey into Learning events were held to welcome our youngest learners into kindergarten. It was also Mental Health Awareness Week, highlighting the importance of students caring for their mental health and wellness. With it being the month of May, we had Crowning of Mary celebrations with our Rosary Apostolates. Some hosted Mother's Day tea events, and the artwork was outstanding this week, showcased the passion that our students have for Catholic education. It was very inspiring. So I just wanted to recognize some of the ways our students and our schools went above and beyond to demonstrate our Catholic faith and efforts to build community. And I want to thank the team, the amazing team who organized our Dufferin Peel's first Jubilee Year Youth Day for our secondary students at St. Kateri Catholic Learning Center on Tuesday, May 6th. Wow, it was absolutely amazing. The students shared a lot of positive feedback and they were grateful for the opportunity to participate. So thank you to the staff that worked behind the scenes. It was really well done.
Any more good news items? If not, chair, back to you.
Thank you, Trustee Thomas. Item E, there are no updates, information reports from committees for receipt. So item F, updates, information reports from administration for receipt. Item F1 is Catholic Education Week 2025, presented by Superintendent Murphy, starting on page 18.
So through the chair, good evening, everyone. That report will be presented by Principal Hastings and Coordinator Webster.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Good evening. Through the chair, this evening's Faith and Program Report, Catholic Education Week 2025 Pilgrims of Hope, highlights the various activities, reflections, and initiatives that have marked this year's celebration of Catholic Education Week. Our staff and students have embraced the call to be true pilgrims of hope on this shared journey of faith and learning. Julie Webster, Coordinator of Religious Education and Faith Formation, will work through the report you will find beginning on page 18 of your agenda package.
Through the chair, celebrating Catholic Education Week is a special occasion to recognize the profound impact that Catholic schools have on students and their families. As we do every year, we invited students to reflect on the prompt, "I love my Catholic school because." Some of the students' reflections this year included, "I love my Catholic school because I learn to pray every day, because I have lots of friends who love me, because I get to learn about Jesus, because I go to Mass with my friends and see Father Fraser, because I have caring teachers who help me to learn." This year's celebration, entitled Catholic Education, Pilgrims of Hope, was inspired by the Jubilee year and the encouraging words of Pope Francis, "We must fan the flame of hope that has been given to us." As we celebrated Catholic Education Week across the DPCDSB community, we were reminded of the enduring power of hope. In our schools, we are called to live out this hope every day, grounded in faith, love, and the promise of God's presence in our lives. And this hope was celebrated joyfully in our schools, our parishes, and across the communities we are privileged to serve. The Comprehensive School Resource Kit, provided through the leadership of the Ontario Catholic Schools Trustees Association, provided students with opportunities to engage in meaningful activities and reflections to deepen their awareness and understanding of both the gift and the responsibility of Catholic education. The contents of this year's school resource kit included daily prayer services, lessons for each sub-theme, living rosary and school retreat plans, prayer cards, posters, and the new theme song, Pilgrims of Hope. As pilgrims of hope on a journey, we walk guided by our faith, trusting in God even when the path is uncertain. Hope is what moves us forward. It gives us strength when things get difficult, and it inspires us to believe in a brighter future for ourselves and for the world. And during Catholic Education Week, this hope was evident in our school communities as we lived out our faith each day through morning prayers, thoughtful reflections, and meaningful liturgical celebrations. During Catholic Education Week, staff and students participated in a variety of activities honoring our shared journey as pilgrims of hope. Our schools hosted a number of special events such as musical performances, open houses, art and science showcases, math engagement nights, dance-a-thons, and milestone anniversaries, and welcomed families to join in these various celebrations promoting Catholic Education Week. Schools also hosted their Journey into Learning sessions to welcome our youngest and newest members to our Catholic school communities. On Tuesday of Catholic Education Week, students and staff gathered at the Jubilee Year Youth Day, a day of prayer, fellowship, and fun. As pilgrims of hope, we walked together in faith, joy, and love. Highlights from the day included a number of DPCDSB alumni sharing their gifts and talents and the impact Catholic education has had in their lives. The students and staff were uplifted in song and praise by Ivy 24, a group of musicians and former graduates of Dufferin Peel. Many of the day's speakers, including Dylan Michael, Dr. Chika Oriua, and Jabari Lindsay, who are also alumni of Dufferin Peel, spoke powerfully about the importance of hope, sharing how their Catholic education has been a guiding light in their lives. Rooted in faith, their Catholic education guided them with joy and helped face challenges with resilience and optimism, fostering a deep belief in God's plan for them. During the Jubilee Day event, students and staff also celebrated the Eucharist together at St. Ignatius of Loyola Parish with Pastor Father Ed Curtis. The day was a wonderful celebration of faith, hope, and a shared mission to spread the good news of joyful disciples. On Wednesday, the Ontario Catholic Student Youth Day virtual event took place. And as part of that event, His Excellency Bishop Crosby of Hamilton officiated a province-wide Eucharistic Mass, which gave an opportunity for administrators, educators, parents, students, trustees, and all partners in Catholic education to come together to celebrate as a community of faith. On Thursday, as a Catholic school community, we heard the words, Habemus Papam, we have a pope. What an incredible time for the election of a pope during Catholic Education Week, a time in history our students and staff will never forget. A reminder of the universal church's unity and the vital role Catholic education plays in forming faithful leaders and disciples for the future. Throughout Catholic Education Week, our chaplaincy teams and youth faith ambassadors also dedicated time to honor our Blessed Mother Mary by leading the Holy Rosary and the crowning of Mary celebrations with the Rosary Apostolate. As in years past, Catholic Education Week was celebrated alongside Mental Health Awareness Week. Schools organized events that focused on promoting our well-being, our body, mind, and spirit, such as Mindfulness Mondays, Christian meditation, Walking for Wellness Days, community pilgrimages, and other outdoor activities to encourage a renewed sense of faith while rejoicing in God's abundant blessings. And so as we look back on another successful Catholic Education Week, we can be confident that our call to journey together as pilgrims of hope was celebrated throughout DPCDSB. Our school communities, staff, students, families, and parishes actively work together to rejoice in the blessings that our lives hold in Catholic education. The events of this week showcased the many ways our students and staff serve as beacons of hope, who bring a light into the world through their actions, their words, and faith. May we continue to walk as pilgrims of hope, trusting in the grace of God to guide us along the way, and may our journey in Catholic education be a testament to the powerful, transformative hope that God offers to all who walk with him. And we will conclude this evening's presentation with a sampling of the joy and hope that was celebrated across the system this week.
This week we come together as a Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board community to celebrate Catholic Education Week, a special time to reflect on the unique gift of Catholic education in our lives.
Catholic education because I got to learn about Jesus, pray 3 times a day, and have masses.
On the sacred journey, we seek human dignity. Each one of us is precious. Show respect and empathy. We are pilgrims of hope, following the way. Our eyes are fixed on you. We are pilgrims of hope, following the way. Our eyes are fixed on you.
That concludes our presentation for this evening. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Principal Hastings and Coordinator Webster. That was absolutely beautiful. Are there any questions or comments from trustees? Student trustee Gia Sharma.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for that wonderful presentation. So last week, on May 7th, me, Raheem, and Bailey also had the opportunity to present the Indigenous influencers on the 2025 Ontario Catholic Student Youth Day, which was for students all across Ontario. And it was virtual, but we did get to present a lot of Indigenous influencers. So it was a great way for us to really work with the other student trustees in our province.
Thank you so much, student trustee Sharma. I also have trustee Luz Del Rosario.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you very much for that presentation. It's really always fulfilling for the Catholic education. I just want to mention that, or thank the Rosary Apostolate, because during Catholic Education Week, it's really, most of our schools, at least most of my elementary schools, did the crowning of Mary. And it's the Rosary Apostolate volunteers, headed by Sister Marilena, that's been working with our students, making sure that they learn how to do the rosary, and the culmination is the crowning of Mary. So I do want to thank and recognize them for all the things that they've done, and always on Catholic Education Week, that's always one of the highlights in our school. So thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Trustee Del Rosario. Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you so much. Item F2 is supporting mathematic teachings and learning, mathematic achievement action plan update, will be presented by Assistant Superintendent Math Lead Kevin Wendling, and begins on page 22 of your agenda. Just needs a minute to set up.
Good evening, and through the chair, this presentation highlights and provides an update on how the program department is continuing to support mathematics teaching and learning in alignment with the ministry's Math Achievement Action Plan. It outlines how we are leveraging a variety of resources to support educators and families in enhancing each student's math learning experience and responding to students' strengths and needs. The ministry's Math Achievement Action Plan is a strategy focused on boosting educators and students' math confidence and competence in the classroom, helping students improve EQAO scores in math, and preparing students for future successes. The strategy focuses on 4 priority actions and is the foundation of the board's work to support student math achievement. And these actions include curriculum fidelity, math content knowledge for teaching, knowing your students, and measurable results. In the report submitted to you, the discussion section outlines specific details about our work, highlighting core and supplementary resources, professional development opportunities, and events, and the work of school-based math facilitators in priority schools. Spotlighted in this evening's presentation are highlights of key actions we have taken. We highlight the partnership we continue to have with EQAO's school outreach support team. Working with us, they have provided information through face-to-face engagement and interactive virtual sessions to provide updates on resources and supports to senior staff, administrators, secondary math department heads, grade 90 streamed math teachers, and math facilitators. Information about the EQAO sessions for families has also been publicized. Supporting the priorities of the Math Achievement Plan has also included a focus on administrators as curriculum leaders. In addition to the EQAO sessions provided, regular board math lead visits have supported the work in priority schools and have incorporated a focus on the analyzing of data to inform next steps. Administrators' feedback shared through the year informs that the board resources created and curated to support the ongoing work across schools has increased math confidence and achievement.
Through the chair, central to our work is supporting teachers, which takes many forms, including professional development sessions, creating and sharing a variety of resources, and leading board-wide events. A selection of highlights are shared in this chart. Our professional development sessions have reached different audiences across both elementary and secondary panels, including, for example, elementary special education resource teachers, grade 9 de-streamed math teachers, and new teacher induction program teachers. Key resources created this year by the team are grades 1 to 6 year-long scope and sequences. These user-friendly resources include hyperlinked math lessons for the entire year, intervention mini lessons and supports, diagnostic and summative assessments, and supplementary resources focused on number routines, math games, and high-impact instructional practices. Other resources shared each week via direct email to elementary teachers are our problems of the week and games of the week. We have focused on financial literacy as well with a Money Matters resource, supported grade 9 teachers with sample culminating performance tasks, and created knowledge hook assessments aimed at supporting grades 3, 6, and 9 students in their preparation for the EQAO math assessments. Our year has also included a focus on board-wide math events, including popular and well-received Rubber Ducky Day and Maze Math Mission Possible. 8 elementary math facilitators and 1 secondary math facilitator continue their work in priority grades 3, 6, and 9 classrooms, focusing on the ministry's math achievement plan's priorities aimed at supporting the ongoing implementation of the 2020 curriculum, elementary math curriculum, and 2021's grade 9 de-streamed math curriculum. The development of math content knowledge for teaching, knowing the mathematics learner, and using high-impact instructional and assessment practices. As seen here, school-based math facilitators support academic achievement efforts in alignment with board and school improvement goals and actions, provide in-class facilitation to strengthen and build students' math confidence and mathematical understandings, highlight the consistent use of board-purchased core and supplementary math resources, model high-impact instructional and assessment practices, and collaborate with classroom teachers to identify students' strengths, needs, and determine appropriate interventions. We are excited about mathematics work taking place in priority schools and beyond. This selection of photos share moments of math joy, hard work, exploration, direct instruction, the use of math tools and representations, inviting hallway displays, problem solving, playing math games, celebrations, and teacher collaboration. We are excited about the opportunities that lie ahead as we continue to support mathematics teaching and learning in Dufferin Peel. Our team is committed to accompanying all learners to develop positive identities as curious, confident, and competent mathematics learners who use math to appreciate and make sense of the world around them. That concludes our presentation.
Thank you both. Are there any questions for this item, F2? Trustee Del Rosario, do you have a question?
I do.
Okay,
I
go
do,
ahead.
Madam Chair, sorry.
It's okay.
In the presentation, it was mentioned the third in-person session, grade 9 in-person session, and new teachers induction program. They notice that they are invited, the teachers are invited to attend. when they're invited, how many do they actually participate? How many participated? I just feel like when they're invited, they have a choice not to attend. Is that correct?
Through the chair, it is invitation, and we encourage them strongly to go with certain programs like NTIP. There are requirements to go. We say invitation, but it's a, I don't want to say strongly worded invitation, but we really want them to come and to attend. Yes. They
Well-
are required to attend. Yes.
Yes, I think that is very important because especially for the new teachers induction program, it will be beneficial to them to really attend, correct?
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, I just have one question. Do we know how many participated in the math board-wide events?
I don't have those numbers with me, but we can find those out and put it in issues and events.
Okay, thank you. I just want to have a determination. I know it's such a great opportunity, but I think we need to determine how many are participating. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Trustee Del Rosario. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much for the presentation. Item F3 is building employment opportunities for Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board students, the bakery school, and project search will be presented by Superintendent Lucy Pampaloni on page 30.
Thank you. Good evening through the chair. Tonight, the Special Education and Learning Services Department would like to share two projects that we have been working on to build employment opportunity for students. Our first project supports both students with differing abilities and mainstream students. And our second project specializes in the support of students with differing abilities. I would now like to invite the coordinator for secondary transitions and diverse learning, Ms. Laura Pacente, to introduce each of the projects to you.
Sorry, I think the microphone may be turned off.
Through the chair, thank you for inviting us to share this presentation at Faith and Program. Together with Teresa Abriscato and Christy Boyley, academic consultants from Special Education and Learning Services Department, we are delighted to unveil two exciting initiatives set to launch in the upcoming school year. First, we are proud to announce a partnership with Parados Canada to establish a cutting-edge bakery school at one of our secondary schools. Christy Boyley is one of the leads in this exciting venture. Simultaneously, Dufferin Peel is making strides to implement the Project Search program this upcoming September. This initiative, led by Teresa Abriscato, offers an intensive year-long skill-building experience aimed at enhancing employability for students who benefit from explicit work skill training with supports. By focusing on individualized growth and fostering career readiness, Project Search opens doors to meaningful opportunities for students in the RAISE and Aspire programs.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it was the slide supposed to advance?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We'll begin with the bakery school presentation. Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board is proud to announce a new partnership with Parados Canada. By blending specific skill development with academics, this collaboration promises to provide hands-on, industry-level training to whisk up a wealth of exciting and practical opportunities for students, allowing them to rise to new heights in the world of baking. We'll start by introducing our board through their customer network, who was impressed by the exceptional programs we offer to our students, including those with differing abilities. Founded in Belgium, Parados is an international powerhouse in the baking, patisserie, and chocolate sectors, with a global workforce of approximately 9,300 employees and a customer base in over 100 countries. These are just a few examples of the other Parados Bakery schools from selected countries. The Parados Bakery School Foundation is committed to making a difference by helping to transform lives of young people and their communities around the world. Over the years, the Parados Bakery School Foundation has opened 15 bakery schools worldwide, spanning the US, Portugal, Romania, South Africa, India, and most recently, Turkey and the Dominican Republic. With 190 graduates and 200 current students globally, these schools provide students with diverse experiences, innovative opportunities, and essential skill development, paving the way for future education and employment paths. The Parados School Foundation is a charitable entity committed to developing future bakers, patisseries, and chocolatiers while supporting students who are underserved. Dufferin Peel is proud that we have entered this partnership to establish the very first Parados Bakery School in Canada. Please welcome Christy Boyley, who will now share how Dufferin Peel and the Peel region were selected for this initiative.
Through the chair. As a global institution, the Parados Foundation has focused on supporting underserved populations. As they researched Canadian data, it indicated that these populations also exist here despite being a developed nation. The data across the country showed a higher need in Ontario and more specifically in Peel region, as illustrated by the data seen here. If our students are not transitioning into post-secondary education, they will have difficulty accessing employment that will sustain a life above the poverty line. And if the student is neurodiverse, this impact is compounded further. Multiple departments from Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board collaborated to establish a bakery school in the Peel region. In that work, several shared objectives were established. First, leveraging the school board's and region's strong potential to boost skilled labor in the baking industry. Second, ensuring that this bakery school would offer diverse opportunities and career pathways for all students, including those who are neurodiverse. And third, advocating to improve youth employment rates in the Peel region. Father Michael Gates Secondary School was chosen as the site for this joint venture. The facility is being transformed to include a dedicated baking space and classroom with equipment designed to be accessible for all students. The first 25 students will come from the school community, and then the program will expand to be open to students across the board. Students who will be participating in the bakery school will have differing pathway considerations. In each pathway, students would be equipped to participate in cooperative education program and the OYAP Level 1 program in baking as well. As seen on the map of Mississauga and the surrounding area, you find a delightful assortment of bakeries from artisan shops to grocery stores, large chains, and cake boutiques. Many of these establishments are current partners or clients of Parados and are available to offer co-op placements, apprenticeships, and employment opportunities to our baking students and graduates. Additionally, the Parados Bakery School Foundation boasts a strong alumni network, one of whom is a former graduate of Father Michael Gates, who can provide invaluable support, advice, and guidance to our students as they embark on their learning journey. To help you further understand the impact of this partnership, we would like to show you a clip from Channel 10 News highlighting the Parados Bakery School in New Jersey.
In what used to be the health sciences room at Pennsauken High, it's now filled with giant wall ovens, scales, mixers, and measuring bowls.
We're opening our 7th bakery school in the world, and the first one in a developed country, and the first one here in the US.
It's a partnership based in yumminess that's 2 years and a whole lot of money in the making.
What did all of this take?
It took $1 million. Everything here is state-of-the-art and brand new.
Starting yesterday, eligible and eager students will fold their math and science knowledge in into this new opportunity, learning how to make cookies, pastries, breads, and muffins.
I just think baking is interesting and fun to do, and I like to cook with my family.
Chef Kendall Elliott is the head instructor.
When you find a child that's willing to embrace the knowledge that you want to pass on to them, you really want to pour out your heart.
And Puratos USA is headquartered right here in Pennsauken.
And we say we do everything with the make the cake because we do all of the ingredients for cake and what we call patisserie.
Industry experts tell me ingredient suppliers began to notice that youngsters in underprivileged communities had little to no access to baking trade and education, and the fact that baking, patisserie, and chocolate sectors are growing but lack well-trained and qualified workers.
When I think you bring these two things together, we're going to see some fantastic results and a new generation of talent coming to the industry.
The baking industry, according to Bakers Enrich America, employs 800,000 skilled individuals. It pays $44 billion in wages, having an overall economic impact of $154 billion.
Maria Ana Castillo.
Or Marie, one of 59 inaugural students to get their white chef coats today.
I wanted to join the bakery industry because I want to become an entrepreneur in the future.
An artistic skill that could afford these young people careers anywhere in the world without college debt. Their slogan, "The future is what they bake of it." Reporting in Pennsauken, Sydney Long, NBC 10 News.
Yeah.
In what used to be
Through the chair. To quote our late Pope Francis, work is fundamental to the dignity of a person. Work, to use a metaphor, anoints us with dignity. In addition to the Parados Bakery project, the Special Education and Learning Services Department has also secured partnerships to establish Project Search, a transition to work program site, which will commence September 2025. In recent years, the Ministry of Education has invited and encouraged school boards in Ontario to apply for the Developmental Disabilities Pilot Student Transitions Grant intended to fund the establishment of a Project Search site. Project Search began in 1996 at Cincinnati Children's Hospital to respond to several factors, including the employment of workers with disabilities. Since 1996, Project Search has grown into an internationally successful endeavor with over 700 sites in 9 countries. Dufferin Peel is excited to be joining the 19 active Project Search sites in Ontario. Now I turn it over to Teresa Bruscato, who will explain the Project Search model and our recent developments for implementing the program.
Project Search is a unique business-led model that aims to build the employability skills students will require if they are moving directly from school to competitive employment. Students, together with a teacher and support staff, are located at a host business for the entire school year. The main goal of Project Search is work skills training. Students will experience hands-on work opportunities, on-the-job feedback, employability and life skills curriculum, and student-focused employment planning. Students receive training across 3 different internships in departments within the host business. Each internship builds essential, marketable skills, promotes confidence, problem-solving abilities, and valued teamwork skills. Due to the nature of this opportunity, there is a limited number of students who can participate in Project Search yearly. To apply, students must be in their final year of secondary school, be enrolled in the RAISE or ASPIRE program, demonstrate an interest in seeking employment after secondary school, show a willingness to work or actively pursue employment opportunities, and must be able to provide their own transportation to and from the host business. Information about Project Search and student eligibility was communicated through Family of School special education consultants, academic resource department heads, transition navigators, and classroom and program teachers to share with both eligible students and their families. An application is required for followed by a skills assessment day to determine the candidates best suited for project search. During this event, students will engage in a skills assessment day across different tasks and multiple stations designed to assess key attributes such as work motivation, the ability to follow instructions, self-advocacy, problem solving, specific skill demonstration, and task completion. The host business for our Project Search initiative is Ashley Oaks Retirement Residence. It is truly a beautiful and welcoming space. Located in Brampton near Steeles Avenue and Heritage Road, this residence is a newly opened facility with a full list of amenities. Ashley Oaks Retirement Residence is conveniently located on the Brampton Transit line, which many staff at Ashley Oaks use regularly. For students who are currently receiving passport funding from Developmental Services Ontario, costs for transportation to and from Project Search could be considered an eligible expense, as it encourages community involvement, developing work skills, and promoting independence. At this time, we would like to share with you a video which highlights some of the Project Search sites across Ontario. In this video, you will hear from a number of different voices representing the varied perspectives of Project Search, including thoughts from education partners, host business employers, parents, and directly from students themselves about their experiences with Project Search.
If I was going to tell a prospective employer about Project Search, I would absolutely tell them to get on board.
So here is your task. There are many questions. Project Search is a really important program because it's an intensive transition to work program for students that we know are underrepresented. Whom might you ask this question? Do you have any plans for the long weekend?
Coworkers?
A coworker, yeah. Students graduate with a level of confidence and also competence that, is unique to a full year program.
I liked Project Search because it prepares me for the job that I'm currently doing right now.
Kenzie is our visual aid assistant, and she creates a variety of visuals that support the learning of other students with disabilities. Kenzie's wonderful. Her work is gorgeous. The visuals look very professional, and I really haven't done much to train her. She learned on the job what was expected, and she's a very fast learner.
Yes, it does make it feel good. It feels more independent for me as well.
So having Kenzie now be a part of our team has been inspirational.
I'm a transporter here at the hospital.
He's got a great personality. He's very open with our patients. He does a really, really good job in patient transport. So I am a huge champion of Project Search. The value that the program brings to the organization, to you as a manager, individually, to your staff is incredible.
It shows that everyone can do anything.
Housekeeping. Mesfin is a great fit to our department. He is very enthusiastic, a hard worker. I think it's very important for Project Search candidates to be employed, just that it's an untapped resource.
If you could work more, would you want to?
Every day.
Okay, Justin, so I want you to pick this one next for tomorrow. All right.
I love working as a team. I am a hard worker with a positive attitude. I like to learn new things.
So Justin was responsible for picking all those instruments and equipment necessary for the surgery tomorrow to do a hip replacement.
Organizations that hire graduates will really expand their diversity and inclusion programs. They're going to see about the abilities, the capabilities, and the contribution that these individuals can make as full employees, full-fledged employees of the organization.
It's important to really challenge the social barriers when it comes to youth with disabilities, to really bring a more inclusive and diverse workforce.
It's important for everybody to hire people with disability because they bring us a lot of help and joy.
If you're looking for an employee that's going to work hard and be super loyal to your organization, you should consider Project Search and you should hire one of our students.
As you may have noticed in the video, there are two facets to the Project Search program: employment skills instruction and employment skills application. Our host business will provide a dedicated classroom space for our students. Classroom instruction will take place with a dedicated Project Search teacher, as well as some support staff. The majority of the day is spent in hands-on job training. The teacher and support staff, along with mentors from the host business, will support students in learning the skills required to be successful in each of their 3 internships. Students will conclude each day back in the dedicated classroom space where they have the opportunity to reflect on the day, journal key learnings, problem solve any issues, and plan for the next day. In addition to the employment skills instruction and the employment skills application, Project Search has another unique feature. Students enrolled in Project Search will also benefit from supports provided by a local employment support provider. The employment support provider will provide guidance to the teacher and support staff to ensure that students are building the skills that are required in their local job market. Additionally, students will receive a year of post-training employment supports from the employment support provider, which will include job retention and job development support following graduation. This concludes our presentations for this evening. We sincerely thank you for your attention and ongoing support. As our dedicated teams continue to support and expand these specialized programs, we are excited to share future updates with you and successes. Together, we are committed to provide our students experiences to develop exceptional skills and unlock pathways to meaningful employment opportunities that will shape their futures.
Thank you so much. Very, very exciting news, especially the part about Parado's Bakery School is one of the first one established in Canada. So that's awesome. Are there any questions for item F3? Trustee Bruno Ainika?
Thank you, Madam Chair. When the COO came, I can't remember if we met the COO here. Was it here? One of the things that he said that really made an impression on me, besides all the wonderful presentation that staff did, and it doesn't surprise me because I see it at least once a month, sometimes more, was the fact that there was a young man, and I can't remember the country that he was in. He was deaf. And in life, I think we all, and I say all, everybody in this room have come across somebody that you think this person is a pain. And then all of a sudden they either go to co-op or they go to something like this and it clicks. And they have found their purpose in life. This young man, and I remember almost like it happened yesterday, and I can't remember what I had for dinner, but I can tell you this young man happened to then be one of the best students and came out of that class employable and happy. And I think that that is what, this is all about. I do have a specific question for Teresa on her presentation. Will the video that you just showed, will it be part of next week, the 28th program employment support?
Through the chair, sorry, the video for Project Search specifically?
Yeah, because I think parents are going to come there wanting to hear, okay, well, what do I do with my kid now? Right? I mean, the fact that, this in itself explains, this at SEAC was a grand slam. Like, forget the fact of where it was, the actual, how it came about. I mean, I was absolutely amazed how it came about. You know, some things happen by chance. This happened at St. Timothy. And it was a brief conversation I had with a parent who had relations with Paretos. And then all of a sudden, staff, like, it's not for me to yes, no. The director was involved, the associate director, Superintendent Papaloni. And then all of a sudden, it grew into what we saw tonight. And this is the type of partnerships that make an impact on people for the rest of their lives. But in reality, if I'm selfish, it makes an impact on me. Because if we help anybody succeed in life, we should be proud. And a lot of the work that, it's obvious, a lot of the work that's been done, staff, I can't say enough about the progress and all of the negotiations, all of the conversations, not only with our staff, but also our plant staff, because, plant had a big part to play in ensuring that everything was laid out accordingly. I was actually at Father Gates last night. I hadn't seen if that has been done, all the equipment is in or not in, or I don't know the plan on that. But I'm guessing it's going to be a summer project. Okay. So, but I can tell you they were so enthusiastic about our partnership. It was enthusiastic met enthusiastic, and there you go. I have to tell you, that story will remain in my heart, because the way that he explained it, I could see the look on that young man's face, and it was a smile. And that was it. Had me at that, right? And that was it. So I'd like to thank again staff for the presentation, and of course, all of staff, everyone that participated in it, because what we have done, led by Lucy, Marianne, will have an impact on kids' lives, and that's fantastic. So thank you very much.
Beautiful. Yep. Employment and happiness. Can't ask for more than that. Trustee Stefano Pascucci.
Thank you, through Madam Chair. So how many schools are we rolling out the bakery program to? Sorry if I missed that.
It's located in one school because they're outfitting a couple of rooms to make it into a world-renowned
Full-blown kitchen.
full-blown bakery with all bells and whistles. Yeah, so it's in one school, but it will be expanded to students from others going forward. Not this year. This year will be from the Gates community.
Perfect. Now, out of curiosity, if they, and through you, Madam Chair, if the students who are in this program go to a culinary school, George Brown or Humber or whatever it is there a chance to get advanced credit through there, or is it, or does it help them get into the program?
They're going to have opportunities through the co-op process in their planning. So it's a few years. Yeah. Yeah. So that it is connected to OEAP.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Pascucci. Any other questions? None online? Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Madam Chair, my hand was up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Trustee D'Souza, I did not see you. but go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And through you, I have a similar question that Trustee Stefano Pascucci asked. So he said how many schools this would be rolled out to, and if I heard staff saying that if students are interested, it's available at Michael Gates. So do students who are interested from other, say, culinary schism programs have to land up to Michael Gates to join this bakery program?
Through the chair, I can answer that question. So it would be like any regional program, but for the very first year, we're just rolling it out. We hope for it to be up and running for second semester of next year, due to the fact that we have to get permits to actually build the bakery. And at that point, we will open it up to children across the system, as would any other program that is regional.
So we won't be spreading this across all our schools so that students have the opportunity, or probably one in the north and one in the south. So right now it's just Michael Gates that'll have it.
That is correct.
So are there opportunities for us to have one more on the other side of town or the other side of the board?
Not at this time.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Trustee D'Souza. And I have Trustee Stefano Pascucci with a question.
Yeah, thank you. Just a question. Everything they bake, who eats it? Where's it go?
Through the chair, that is yet to be determined.
It'd be great to see if we can reach out to food kitchens or whatever it is, and if they'll take it, because obviously there are requirements. If there's something that we can do now to reach out to see if we can get a future partnership with them, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, I think we're good. Thank you again for the presentation. Item F4, Central Committee for Catholic School Councils Annual Report, and Superintendent Drago Radic will be presenting and begins on page 43.
Good evening, and through you, Madam Chair, I'm pleased to present the Central Committee for Catholic School Council's annual report, which begins on page 43 of your agenda package. The Central Committee for Catholic Schools collaborates with school communities to promote effective parent involvement and support student achievement. CCSC's mandate includes supporting meaningful parent engagement, providing advisory supports to the board, and facilitating communication with our local Catholic school councils. Throughout the 24-25 school year, the Central Committee, as you know, has held many formal meetings, providing opportunities for consultation, feedback, and training within many areas. Some are listed on your sheet there: public budget consultation, consulting regarding the multi-year strategic plan, resources to support our Catholic schools, several parent engagement events listed there, input for our school website, and of course, celebrating our Volunteer of the Year awards, which will be meeting next week to determine those winners. The Central Committee is further supporting schools by providing resources for individual school councils, special education, equity, and well-being. And through the Special Education Advisory Council, the Central Committee, along with the local school councils, supports several events, speakers, and workshops throughout the school year. These events have traditionally supported parents, guardians seeking to enrich understanding of how to support children and maximizing their potential. Some of the events include sacramental preparation for students with differing abilities, transitioning students with diverse learning needs to schools, the Employment Supports Fair upcoming, and engagement events focused on resilience, online safety, and social networking. Catholic school councils continue to access pro-grant funding to support parent engagement at their local schools. The Equity Department, along the Central Committee of Catholic School Councils, collaborate to support the community by providing resources and opportunities to gather together, such as the STEAM Night and a Systems Navigation Night. We will continue to engage our parent community through the Central Committee for Catholic School Councils and offer a variety of opportunities for consultation, feedback, and meaningful dialogue. The Central Committee plays a vital role in nurturing the spiritual, academic, and social development of students by fostering a strong relationship between home, school, and parish. Through active engagement, advocacy, and collaboration, the Central Committee will continue to shape a Christ-centered learning environment where every child can thrive. Its contributions not only support school initiatives and enrich student experiences, but also strengthen the broader Catholic community. Thank you. That concludes the Central Committee for Catholic School Council's annual report, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Superintendent Roddick. Are there any questions? Trustee Bruno Iannica?
Madam Chair, I know we're only in the, well, almost the middle of May. How many more of presentations do we have until the end of the year? I think
Through
there's
the,
three?
through the chair, there is this week, May 15th, Chris Bray at St. Paul's.
Yeah.
There is, and then in conjunction with Safe Schools, there's the May 29th with Duville. And then there is, I think, the employment fair is coming up as well. So between all the different departments, roughly three, I believe.
I'm just wondering, because some of the concerns that I've had from parents is anything after April, let me rephrase that. There is less interest in May and June than there may be in previous months. And I did attend the one, I can't remember, what school were we at, Bria?
St. Aloysius Gonzaga Catholic Secondary School.
Gonzaga, and it was very well attended. So I'd be interested to see how many people attend the May version, only because, and I know it's two different communities, and I know it's two different timeframes. The other one was late April, and this one is late May. And I understand that we wanted to do it to accommodate the North and the South. I get it, I understand it. I'm just wondering if staff could let us know in issues and events what the participation was one time to another, because I'm concerned that, well, I will say that one of the schools of this board that I represent had an evening with a gentleman that I had already seen, but I had a board function, or I would have went there. There were 8 people there. 3, the same family. And when you spend that kind of money, I don't know if it's the subject, and it went out to a number of feeder schools that feed into Gates. So it wasn't like it was just one school having it. It was multiple schools. And, 4 of those people attend everything. The other 4, it would have been 9 if I didn't have another board function. And that's my concern, is that we spend a lot of money for good things, just don't get the value from it. So I'm wondering if we could kind of look at attendance, May, early June, to something March, April. Only because, I would ask the Central Committee on what they thought, but I think information like that is of value, because when you're spending a significant amount of money and there's 8 people, challenge.
And through the chair, we can certainly put that information together as far as attendance throughout the parent engagement nights. And I know the Central Committee for Catholic School Councils have discussed this, and much of the issue is everything begins in October by the time the elections and all that happens later on at the beginning of the school year. But that has been put on our radar, where even though, again, that will happen in October, but the Central Committee especially, they are looking to plan several events earlier in the year, starting now. We already have the vaping presentation we're trying to do earlier on. So that is on the radar for the Central Committee, understanding that, as you said, come May and June, the appetite possibly for attending some of these events lessens, whereas it may be a little more better attended come October, November, September. So that is something that the Central Committee is certainly looking into for next year.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Trustee Iannica. And I know the parent engagement evening that we did, Building Safe Schools at St. Aloysius Gonzaga, I think had a few things for the advantage. The location for one, the date. Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's location, but perhaps centrally we can send out a reminder to parents just to put out that again and see if we can generate more interest. Are there any more questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Superintendent Reddick. Item F5 is the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board's Sugar Bush Program presented by Superintendent Wayne Brunton and begins on page 47.
Thank you and good evening, and continuing through the chair. As trustees are aware, we have a number of programs running out of the Silver Creek Outdoors Education Program. Through both the program and the Indigenous Education Department. One of the programs through the Indigenous Education Department is the Sugar Bush program that has been happening throughout the last few years. Beginning in February, this program offers all students in Dufferin Peel the opportunity to experience and participate in Indigenous land-based learning opportunities. This learning opportunity is led by many community partners, which we have as also members of our Indigenous Education Councils, our IAC, as well as a number of elders as part of IAC, who lead these sessions. And of course, as a response to the 94 calls to actions from the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, these community members offer their time to lead activities and teach the importance of Indigenous cultures, teachings, songs, and traditions. This year, we opened up the Sugar Bush March Break Camp to all students and families in Dufferin Peel to visit Silver Creek, to visit the Indigenous Lodge, and have all families and students participate in the activities. Some of the activities included wood carving, led by our Indigenous member from the Maori Nation of New Zealand who visited us that week. Students learned to harvest and boil the sap that was tapped through the trees from the sugar bush, as well as learn the process of making moose hide. Within the 2 days in Silver Creek, we had roughly 1,000 parents visit within those 2 days, which is an exceptional amount of people participating and showing an interest in this program. A special thank you, of course, goes to our elders, Tea Hyundai from Six Nations, Tim McGregor from Whitefish River, Dale Penn from the Wakatani, Isaac Murdoch from Nimki Ashahonke, and Shannon Paul from Northwest Angle, all of whom are part of the Ojibwe Nation and who traveled from north of Huron Lake to be alongside us for the whole week throughout the March Break program and with our Indigenous education staff. At this time, I'd just like to turn the trustees' attention just to our screen for a very short video on the Sugar Bush program throughout the months of February and, of course, through our March Break.
We're here at Silver Creek, which is the board's sort of getaway into nature. The only sort of facility we have for this. It's a place where students come to just be in the bush, to learn in a different setting. And specifically, the program that we run here is our Sugar Bush program. It's an incredible program where basically our department, we look for students that self-ID as Indigenous, and those students as well as their classmates come out for 4 weeks for a very comprehensive Sugar Bush program.
We're here today helping teach the kids about tapping trees and the maple syrup and the stories behind that. The kids love it. They love being outside, outdoors, and it's a good way for them to connect back to the nature.
You know, one thing that I've noticed with young people is when you take them on the land, especially when they come from an urban setting, an urban environment, what I notice is that there's connections and there's these sparks of wonder and awe that happens with these young people. And when you explain how everything's connected and how trees communicate and how the whole ecosystem is dependent on the whole ecosystem, you know, like how everything gives everything to everything in nature, it's like these kids, their eyes just widen up and they're just like, wow, this is a magical place. Like the world really is magical. And so it leaves them with this incredible sense of, you know what? I'm actually a part of this ecosystem too. I'm a part of this diversity and this biology out here, of this ecosystems and hydrology systems. Like I'm a part of that. And I think it just connects them to the world in a very organic and very earthly way.
The first time that the students come out, they're sort of in awe, they're sort of a little bit antsy because really this place is not 4 walls of a classroom. This is a completely different learning environment. Students are away from technology, which sort of causes a stir in their bodies. But as the 4 weeks progress, you can see even through the half of the first day, you can really see them start to settle. And it's not something that many GTA kids get to experience. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of these students, and it's incredibly valuable. And I think for a lot of them, this is something that they'll keep with them for the rest of their life.
Well, I've been in the city for most of my life, so I don't have too much experience outdoors like this. But this whole program has really helped me really experience this for the first time. I started to hate it at first, but now it's like I really love it.
At first, I was kind of not so excited to spend my whole week in the forest, but it actually ended up being really fun.
And of course, a sugar camp is so much more than a sugar camp. It's not just about maple syrup. It's about building community, building relationships, empowering young people. It's about keeping these traditional practices alive. When these kids leave, it's like, you can't help but feel like we're all like a family. A lot of kids don't have that opportunity to go out into the forest with Indigenous people and learn about these lands. And of course, we beautifully weave all of this information for them with elders and traditional people so that they get the best Indigenous education that they can.
That concludes the report, and happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Superintendent Brenton. Love Silver Creek. It's an amazing experience for kids. Any questions? Trustee Bruno Iannica?
Madam Chair, on page 48, it says on the Thursday and Friday of the March break, over 1,000 deaf and Peel parents. How did you was that advertised?
Through the chair, yeah, it was advertised system-wide through Communications Department.
How many would be the maximum that they could handle?
With 1,002 days, that was probably the maximum. If anybody knows Silver Creek, it's 2 roads leading into the lodge, leading into Silver Creek. And both sides, we had to have staff be parking attendants because we didn't want the city to come. We informed the city that we're having this event, but 1,000 was probably the cap. But that street for Silver Creek goes all the way down to, I believe, almost Regional 25. So there were cars we had to even ask move from one of the bridges that were coming into Silver Creek, which is 1 lane. So we didn't say no to any families, nor would we ever, but 1,000 people at Silver Creek was probably the max we would probably say. We were thankful that we have so many events going on that they were busy in multiple different stations, but the land is also a couple acres as well. So it's not enough room per se for bodies, but in terms of parking, that was our major concern.
And why just Thursday and Friday?
So for the March break, the point of the camp is to get obviously the tree saps and the tapping ready, and also getting all the events ready. So the Moose Hide takes some time to get ready for students to participate in, to get the lodge ready, and of course the station for wood carving. Students had the opportunity to work, our Deaf and Peel students had the opportunity to have a job during March break, to work at the camp. And we had the students really from all over come during Monday to Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, we said we're going to try this year to open up to the entire Deaf and Peel community free of charge.
I can see why, 1,000 people, especially during March break, it's an opportunity that some of these kids, as William indicated, would never, ever get that opportunity. And to be able to give them that opportunity, or give all of even some of the parents. Some of the parents, I think one of the gentlemen, I can't remember the gentleman, said, there's no 4 walls here. It's trees on every side. And, we don't get an opportunity to see a lot of that. And some of these kids probably never saw that. And one of the girls that indicated, well, for me to spend a couple of days up here, I thought I was going crazy. And then, of course, the best thing of all is there's no technology, which would kind of, you'd think would turn some of the kids off. But I would bet that if we're going to do this again next year, we may have to turn some of these people away, even though there is no technology. So this is great. So thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Trustee Iannica. Any other questions? No one online? All right. Thank you, Superintendent Brunton. Item F6 is the extended excursion spring 2025 presented by Superintendent Peter Cusimano and begins on page 49.
Through the chair, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to share this evening a report which summarizes spring presentations made by schools to the Extended Excursions Committee. The Extended Excursions Committee met on April 11th to receive presentations from 3 secondary schools, St. Edmund Campion, St. Michael, and Cardinal Leger. Among several items, the Extended Excursion Committee reviewed the following details and expectations with the presenters. School proposals included all required components, rationale, documentation, itinerary, budget, and approved tour operator information. That the Catholic faith is reflected in the itinerary for the proposed trip, including an expectation that all students and supervisors attend the Catholic Mass on all Sundays during the trip. That appropriate steps are in place to ensure that students have opportunities to make up any assignments and/or assessments that may occur during the missed instructional days due to the extended excursion. That a communication plan is in place for supervisors, students, and parents' guardians throughout the trip, and the plan must be made available to parents. That all participants purchase cancellation insurance, and that all participants have mandatory medical coverage, insurance appropriate as for the excursion. Excursion leaders and principals will continue to monitor latest travel advisory reports through the Government of Canada Travel and Tourism site. Appendix A attached summarizes the spring request for extended excursions presented this evening for receipt. So St. Edmund Campion students will be traveling to Milan, Venice, Florence, Assisi, and Rome. This Italy excursion will provide students with the opportunity to experience thousands of years of culture, history, and religious influence the Roman Empire has had on Western civilization. At St. Michael's Catholic Secondary School, the St. Michael's music program has embraced the tradition of performance and traveling since the school opened in 2010. The school concert band and choir program founded an idea of a mentorship and community will be traveling to Halifax, Nova Scotia to participate in the Atlantic Festival of Music. This excursion will provide students with the opportunity to work with world-class musicians during workshops and witness elite-level ensembles perform. At Cardinal Leger, students will be provided with the opportunity to experience an international cultural trip to Japan. The School Arts and Culture SHSM lends itself to this wonderful trip of a lifetime. Traveling experiencing a new culture fosters student collaboration and cultivates global citizenship. Students will be able to immerse themselves in Japanese culture. In conclusion, the Dufferin-Peel Catholic District School Board has a rich tradition of offering students the opportunity to participate in extended excursions as an enhancement to their regular program of study. Local schools offer these through educational travel, social justice, and special programs. That concludes the report. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Superintendent Cusimano. Any questions for this item, F6? Trustee Stefano Pascucci?
Thank you very much. I was actually my first question was going to be, usually the table shows why they're going, but you mentioned it in your report, so thank you very much. But my other question was, how many U.S. trips do we still have that are going to be going on for the next couple of months?
So through the chair, there's one trip proposal that is forthcoming with regards to a HOSA excursion that's being put forward through St. Edmund Campion, and they'll be traveling to Nashville, Tennessee.
Are there any existing approved trips that are still yet to be completed?
To the chair, no, not at this time.
Good. I just want to make sure that there's not going to be anybody stuck at the border and have a parent called up and say, hey, by the way, your kid's over at Buffalo. Come pick them up. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Trustee Pascucci. Any other questions? Seeing none. For item G, the trustee committee administration reports requiring action, there are no items. Item H is additional business. There are no notices of motion. So we are on item I, questions asked of and by trustees. I can start a speaker list. We have student trustee Gia Sharma and Stefano Pascucci. No one online? Okay, go ahead, student trustee Sharma.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So my question is for the director.
So in all 4 years of high school, I have noticed that there's a lot of mental health and well-being resources that have been sent out through various platforms for students to use. However, despite these resources being available, they're just not as accessible as they can possibly be. I had an idea to get these resources to be posted on all LMS platforms, whether it's on Google Classroom, D2L, or any other platform that teachers use. Teachers would be required to share this information at the beginning of the semester, just as they do with items such as the course outlines, and this would be to ensure that the curriculum is not interfered with. But then you must be wondering that if these resources are already available, then how is my suggestion any different? Well, the focus is on having equitable access and reaching hard-to-serve students, especially grade 9s and any other students who are most in need of these resources, and being able to get these resources really to the students who need them the most. So to help me understand why we really need this, I conducted a survey which was posted in Google Classrooms as well as other classes. So it was a QR code that students could scan. So it was done in credit recovery, student success classrooms, and then I had it in my Senate Google Classroom just to get the most broad dynamic of students really filling out this form. And the results are as the following. So 43% of students access their guidance Google Classrooms, which is where most of these resources are posted, 2 to 3 times a week. Then 91% of students access their core school classrooms daily, which is rarely where these resources are posted. So as we can tell, most students do access their core school classrooms, which is 91%, and only access their guidance school classrooms 2 to 3 times a week, which is only 43%. Me personally, I don't access my guidance school classrooms. With platforms such as My Blueprint or D2L, the results are even less. To add on, I also discussed with the Mental Health and Wellbeing Advisory Committee, as well as a lot of my teachers, to really get their input on this idea and to really understand that before I really bring this out and bring it as a suggestion, what are some things that I could work on? But they were very responsive and they thought it was an amazing idea, and I got a lot of support. So with both of them and my form, it really shows that we really do need this in our board. So I do want to emphasize that it is more about reaching the maximum amount of students, because not everyone is a leader yet, and they're not in certain Google Classrooms where this information is available. So like right when you enter grade 9, you're going through a lot of different emotions. It's a huge change. You're not a leader in that moment. You're not in a lot of clubs and a lot of Google Classrooms. So we really need to make sure that the Google Classrooms that these students are really in, they have these resources available to them. And not all students understand how to go on a guidance Google Classroom. Like they're focused on going on their core school classroom, doing their assignments, just working on that before they really learn how to navigate through high school. And then speaking from personal experience, in grade 9, I never went on guidance Google Classrooms unless it was to book an appointment. So any resources that were there, I didn't look at them. So I would like to ask the director if this suggestion would be possible.
Through the chair and to student trustee Gia Sharma, you've really presented a very well thought out suggestion for how we can bring more attention to these resources, backed up with a lot of data. So excellent suggestion. Can you give me an opportunity to work with staff? We want to gather all those resources, and then I can work with ICT around blasting it out to the platforms. So thank you for that suggestion. I think it's an excellent suggestion, and more to come.
Thank you, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Very, very welcome. I think you found your voice. Way to go. Any other questions? I do have Stefano Pascucci on the list. Any others? All right, go ahead, Stefano.
Thank you. Through Madam Chair, to Associate Director, Director of Education, can you guys, can we reach out to the city as a whole to see if we can provide a little bit more safety for our children? The reason for this is, or what I'm asking for is, if the city would be interested in installing bollards or gates, or movable gates that can be put on pathways that have access to our school playgrounds. The reasoning is that, one, we don't want to have any issues with somebody going through there at a high speed, but also it stops other individuals from going there and placing themselves close enough to our students where they can observe them. So is it possible for us to go and speak to the city as a whole?
So through you, Madam Chair, absolutely, we can connect with the city, especially, I'm assuming, in locations which have city property that abuts onto our lands. And we can also make a connect through Superintendent Odo, who is our senior staff liaison with the police with regard to potential patrolling of certain areas. So absolutely, we will take that as direction.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And Trustee Pascucci, any other questions? Nobody online? All right, time at the end of my speakers list. So if there's not any other questions, item J, we don't have any declared interest items. So item K is our in camera. So at this time, we will be moving into in camera. So I just need a motion to move this discussion into a closed meeting, as it will involve confidential information with respect to the board, committee, or an employee. So moved
Madam
by,
Chair.
thank you,
Trustee
Trustee
D'Souza.
Daryl D'Souza. Thank you so much for moving that. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, carried. So trustees will take a 10-minute break, and thank you to the members of the public who have watched this evening. We'll be moving into in-camera, so if you're not able to stay online until we return to open session, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is our last Faith and Program Committee meeting for the 2024-2025 school year, so we wish you good night and God bless. And trustees and staff will resume at 8:53 p.m. Thank you. Back to public session for the Faith and Program Committee meeting of May 13th. So during our in-camera session, trustees approved minutes of the in-camera session of March 4th, 2025. We received administrative appointments and transfers, and we addressed questions of an in-camera nature. Can I please have a motion of approval for rise from in-camera and report? Thank you, trustee Bruno Ionica. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. So motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 9:47. Thank you, trustee Thomas. All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, carried. So once again, thanks to our members of the public for joining us this evening. We always appreciate your attendance.